Hello everybody and welcome to a free intuition mini masterclass. This masterclass is all about two types of intuition. I'm going to explain a couple of types of intuition, how they work and what they look like. And if you've got any questions about any of these along the way, please do reach out and let me know. So what we're going to talk about is two types of intuition. The first kind of intuition is a form of local intuition, and this is informed by our electromagnetic makeup. It's biological and it's innate. So this local type of intuition is not really a special gift. You know, there's a lot of conversation out there about intuition being a special gift that is bestowed upon a select group of people who perhaps identify as working in the psychic world. And this idea of local intuition is informed by our electromagnetic makeup, our biology. It's informed by the fact that we are electromagnetic beings and that we are giving and receiving signals and information all the time, whether we realize it or not. And so local intuition is a form of energetic sensitivity. And what that means is that you are energetically sensitive to the signals around you from the people and the places that you find yourself in. And so a really great example of local intuition is at the supermarket, right? Let's say you're walking down the supermarket aisle and you pass somebody and perhaps you don't even exchange any words or perhaps even see their facial expression, but you can just tell that that person is maybe having a really shitty day or having a really fabulous day, or you can just tell that something is going on for them, whatever that might be. That is a form of local intuition. It's innate, it's biological, it is so built in within us, it's almost rudimentary. And this type of local intuition is something that we often dismiss, and we often find ourselves picking up on signals but then dismissing them. And the reason for that is often because if we pick up on something and it kind of doesn't make sense, or we have to justify or explain ourselves to others, and it might feel a little bit strange, or we might have to try to convince people, we tend to pull back a little bit and not trust those signals that we're receiving. And so this form of intuition is something that is available to all of us, and we're already using it whether we realize it or not. But what we can do about it is we can actually turn it up and kind of like increase our awareness around the signals that we are receiving, but also the information that we're sending as well. And so local intuition is absolutely not a special gift. It's nothing that is reserved for a select group of people. It is absolutely accessible by all of us. If you are breathing, if you have a pulse, then you already possess this local intuition. It's an energetic sensitivity, and being energetically sensitive or an empath, we're actually all empathic, like all 7 billion or however many there are of us on this earth. We are all empathic because it's part of our biological makeup. And so this idea of local intuition speaks to the fact that we are giving and receiving energetic signals all the time. So local intuition ain't a special gift, not bestowed upon a select few, and it is innate within you. But you can absolutely pay more attention to it and be more discerning with the information that you are receiving, and also the information that you're giving as well. But what it is that that spiritual self-esteem, and I'll talk about this in another masterclass, this spiritual self-esteem subject, but ideally when we possess spiritual self-esteem, we are actually acting upon those impulses, those guidance, bits of guidance, those nudges, those things that we are receiving. And so when we are receiving these pieces of information, this energy, using our energetic sensitivity, our local intuition, we can then do something with that information. But of course, if we're denying it, or ignoring it, or rejecting it, it's going to be a lot harder for us to actually receive that information and then have that spiritual self-esteem to act upon it. That's the key here with intuition. Intuition's not something special that only some people have. Everybody is intuitive, but there's a lot of us who are squashing down our intuition, or have had things happen that have resulted in us squashing down our intuition, and therefore we don't use it as the superpower that it is. You know, it's not a special gift, but it's absolutely a superpower. So that's local intuition, and that is a form of environmental intuition. It's based on your environment and the signals in your environment. Another example of that is life protecting life. So, you know, a mother who is in a house and her child is in the next room, and even though she can't hear anything, or there's nothing that sort of speaks to the idea that there's something that's not quite right, or the child needs some attention, the mother just knows. Yeah, the mother just knows, and it's picking up on that energetic sensitivity. So that is local intuitions. That's one form of intuition. That's one of the categories that I look at in my intuition courses. The second type of intuition, the second category, is non-local intuition. So we have local and we have non-local. And local is the energetic sensitivity that informed by our local environment, and over here is non-local. So what that means is that it's not necessarily informed by our immediate environment. It's not local. It is obviously by definition it's non-local. And the HeartMath Institute, which does a lot, it's a not-for-profit organization that does a lot of work at the intersection of science and spirituality. They talk about non-local intuition, and they define it as knowledge or information that cannot be explained by past or forgotten knowledge. And so what that means is that if you access something, you receive information that none of your previous experiences or memories or anything like that, none of those things actually can be used as a reason or a justification, or like giving proof as to why you actually know this or have this information. This is how we understand non-local intuition. A really great example of this is using, and many of you have probably heard of this, using the idea of working with past lives. And so a past life is something that is, time and space are an illusion, but the past life is not necessarily happening right now in this current lifetime. But how can we access that information? Well, that is a form of non-local intuition. Now, what that means is that there is a unified field, and in that field, everything is energy, right? Even though we appear to be solid and fixed matter, and the couch I'm on and this and everything appears to be solid, everything is actually energy, everything is but a vibration. And so what that means is everything is energy, therefore we can then receive and access that information non-locally when we attune ourselves to that non-local field. And the way we do that is by elevating our vibration. We privilege our heart brain. Again, all of that is stuff for another masterclass. I'll talk about the heart brain and the role of your vibration in that. But if everything is but a vibration and you are tuning into that vibrationally, then you can access information non-locally. So non-local intuition is the other form of intuition, and it's not much like local intuition. It's not a special gift either, but it does take practice. It does take practice. This form is absolutely innate. It's biological. It's happening whether you realize it or not. It's unconscious for many of us a lot of the time. Over here, this non-local intuition is something that's like a muscle. We need to practice. We need to practice and practice and practice. And one of the experiences that I like to share with non-local intuition is in the idea of practicing is when I trained as an intuitive guide. We did some work where we do a full intuitive intelligence method, which is a full 75-minute session that we do to serve our clients. And in that session, when we did our training, when we did a retreat, we were over in Bali. And when we did our training, we were paired up one-on-one and we did an energy evaluation to share an experience called an instigating event, which is a past life in which that person's soul took on a particular belief. And what happens is with this is, and this is why it takes practice, is we will prepare ourselves appropriately. We'll use the energetic tools that we have, heart congruence. I'll also do a masterclass on that a little bit later. But once we prepare ourselves, and we sit in service before this other person and we tune into that non-local intuition, that non-local field, and we receive, what will happen is we will receive something and we'll either hear it, see it, feel it, or know it with our clairs, our clairvoyance, our clairsentience, our claircognizance, our clairaudience. That's the way in which we intuit. We will receive something, and what happens is if you don't then speak what it is that you receive in that moment, nothing more comes. So the past life doesn't begin to unfold and show itself to you if you don't use that spiritual self-esteem and you don't practice by starting to speak what it is that you are receiving using your non-local intuition. And so this is something that takes practice. It requires practice. You never are intuitive enough. It's one of those things where there's no destination. It is simply but a journey. And if we feel that we've got it all sorted, then that's the moment where we need to step into humility. But this non-local form of intuition is absolutely accessible by all of us as well. It just takes practice, and there's some things that we can do to help with that. One of those things is by privileging our heart. Again, I talked about that a little bit earlier, and we'll do another masterclass on that. Privileging your heart, because your heart has the largest electromagnetic field of any part of your physical body. Now, if we're talking electromagnetic fields and everything is part of one unified field, then of course, if we privilege our heart, we're able to access that information non-locally. That takes practice. That's a discipline or a blisscipline, if you like. And so if you want to do that, there's absolutely lots of ways that you can practice. There's lots of things that you can do. But one of the best ways that I obviously think you can do that is to come and train with me. I actually run a 10-week online program. It's called Activate Your Intuition. And we look at both of the types of intuition, the local intuition and the non-local intuition. And you learn how to receive your own intuitive guidance non-locally in that program. And the final lesson, it's 10 weeks, so there's 10 weekly lessons. And in that final lesson, you actually receive your own intuitive guidance live on Zoom. So it's all an online program, so it's all run on Zoom in front of the group. And the two groups, we're opening the doors to, well, the doors are officially open, I should say. The group 3 is about to begin on the 23rd of June. If you're over on the US, it's the 22nd of June. But the women who have already gone through that program online and have also done it with me in a 2-day workshop here locally, everyone has done it, everyone has succeeded, and everybody has just, it has been such a privilege to be a part of, because it's absolutely possible. You actually come into the program with everything that you need to be able to do that at the end of the program. But we work on, in the 10 weeks, we go on a journey together and we look at spiritual self-esteem and we look at the types of intuition and we look at clearing out our subconscious basement so that you can be the clearest possible channel to receive your own intuitive guidance. And so that's a 10-week journey. We have an opening circle, 10 weeks of lessons, and then a closing circle. And then in between those 10 weeks, we also have a few bonus calls so that we can check in and catch up. So we can say hello, I can see what's going on for you. You can share with me your experiences, what you're getting out of the program. Because what we do is, this is a practical program. It's not a sit and listen to me talk at you for 10 weeks kind of program. Each of the lessons has theory and then a practice. And the practice is designed to do two things. One, to actually embody the knowledge that we just talked about in the theory. And two, to give you an opportunity to actually take the practices into your life. This is not a do this program once kind of thing. Very much about the embodiment, very much about taking that practice. Practice is one of the words that you'll get sick of hearing me talking about in this program. But by the end of the 10 weeks, you will have worked on so much. We start off with the types of intuition and how it works. Then we move into the science of intuition, and we'll talk about a lot of that stuff that I mentioned about the Heart Math Institute earlier. Then we move into the 3 immutable laws, the law of mentalism, the law of correspondence, and the law of vibration, and how they apply to intuition. Very important. Then we look at energetic protection, spiritual sight, and then receiving your own intuitive guidance. And that whole program is a 10-week program with, as I said, an opening circle and a closing circle at the end, and obviously at the start for the opening one. And so we start on the 23rd of June. Now that's Australia, 23rd of June. So if you are over in the US or Canada, on the other side of the world, then it is going to be the day before for you, because we do the calls at 10 a.m. AEST. For our weekly lessons. So that's the evening or the afternoon before for you if you're on the other side of the world. And I'm really sorry if you're in the UK or Europe, the time zones with Australia are not particularly friendly when we're doing calls in the morning here. All right, so that's it from me. If you have any questions about the program, please do let me know. I'm happy to answer all of your questions. I've also got, I'm popping a little link in the comments, which is the link you need to access all of the details about the program, how it works, the course outline, the details, the schedule, all of that stuff. Prices, there's 2 different two different package options available. There's a priestess package and a goddess package. The goddess package includes everything that the priestess package has, but it also has some one-on-one private mentoring with me as well to go a little bit deeper into your intuition journey. So that's it from me. Thank you so much. If you click on that link and you want to book a 20-minute discovery call to come and chat with me and ask me your questions, find out if this course is right for you, answer any kind of curly questions that you find you might have, I'm very happy to do that. So go ahead and click on that link. And if you scroll to the bottom of the page, you'll see that there's a link to book a 20-minute complimentary chat with me. So please do that. Please do reach out. I've got some space in my calendar available. We start very soon, as I said, on the 23rd of June, and the doors open, the doors close, I should say, on the 19th of June, because you receive a welcome pack in the mail. And I want to get that to you as soon as I possibly can. That's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. And as always, reach out if you have any questions whatsoever. Bye for now.